Not all stocks are created to run the wheel strategy on, and I might be the only one that has this take, but I refuse to run the wheel strategy on leveraged ETFs. And let me show you why. One popular one that all the degenerates love to do is MSTX, right? Which is a leveraged ETF on MSTR, which is already an extremely risky company. And something happens when we look at MSTX on the options chain. And I call those the premium blinder. So I'm going to go over to the options chain. I'm going to click sell put, and I'm going to go out 30 days on MSTX. Now, when we look at the premiums that we can get here, we slowly really start getting these premium blinders that I call. For example, if we look at these 40s, right, this selling a put on these 40s, basically we're saying we're willing to buy 100 shares of MSTX at $40. We're collecting $440 of premium from the options buyer. Whew. That sounds incredible, right? Let's take a look at what that return is. Obviously, these numbers are all for educational examples only at the time I was recording this, but you could see for $40 per share, that's risking $4,000 that we'd have tied up, 11% return. Obviously, this is just at the time of me recording this, but that's crazy. Now, here's the thing you need to understand as an option seller is when you are running the wheel strategy, these premium returns that you're seeing, like anything honestly over like 5, 6, up and 11%, they come with massive risks, right? This might work for you a handful of times, but the one time that it doesn't work, it can eliminate all of the gains that you've got and the premiums you've collected across the board. So me personally, I stick to the boring stuff. For example, J&J, right? J&J is a decent setup for some cash secured puts today. So if I go over to the J&J options chain, right? A company that has thousands of brands under its umbrella. If I have to bet on it, it's going to be here in 50 years from now. I go back to my 29-day expiration, and let's say I want to get into it. Let's say 148, right? I collect 213 in premium here, and all these calculators are available free inside of our Facebook group. Everything is free here, guys. So just join our group. The link is in the bio, and you can download all this stuff for yourself if you want it. And we're putting up $14,800 in collateral here, right? $14,800 in collateral. Now, our return obviously isn't as great as an MSTR, but in my opinion, what do you rather own? For me, I rather own J&J. Here's a challenge I have for you, right? You have to think, right? If it's a cheap, your leveraged ETF, they're made to be cheap for why? Why are they made to be cheap, right? For retail investors and dumb money to pour into this thing because they necessarily can't afford to sell puts on like a J&J. Right? And most times, those people get burned. You're competing against high-frequency trading companies that spend trillions of dollars optimizing these algorithms. You are not going to beat them. You don't have an edge like